Hey everyone, I just want to show you this really great baseline inbounds play. You can run this at pretty much any level, and I really like it. But first, I really want to say congratulations to a friend of mine, Tyrone Watson, who just recently became an assistant coach at the college level at STFX here in Canada. So congratulations to him. This is actually a baseline inbounds play that is used by the school that he is now coaching for. So let's get down and let's break down this basketball play. And of course, congratulations to Tyrone. Okay, so first we're going to start with having a couple of players in a box type formation. And then we're going to have the player from one elbow using the player on the other elbow as a screen. He is then going to receive that ball, and we're going to have a double screen for the player who is coming up from the baseline. The player who is the inbounds player coming up from the baseline will then receive that pass, and we will have one player who is doing a high cut across the free throw line, and then the player who was originally in the low post on the opposite side will be using the two players who are on the elbow as well as the low post on the ball side to set what I call a sandwich screen on that player. They will set that screen, and then that player will then take that three-point shot. Of course, the backup option here is, of course, the player doing the high cut across if this screen does not work out. So, of course, let's set up a man-to-man defense with this box inbounds. We're going to start with player 3 using player 4 as a screen, and we're going to have that ball then passed inbounds to player 3 out on that wing. At this point in time, we're going to have a staggered screen set up for player 1, and then we're going to then have player 3 pass that ball to player 1. At this point in time, we're going to have player 3 cut across the free throw line using player 4, not necessarily as a screen, but more of a brush screen, while at the same time setting a what I call a sandwich screen for player 2. Player 2 will then fit through, and we will have player 3 as our backup and player 2 as our main option for the three-point shot. But this doesn't just end here. I can add on to this play that can help your team even win more and more games. Let's start back at the beginning. Player 4 sets that screen, and player 3 uses that screen. If player 3 is not open, we then will have our backup option. Player 3 needs to get out towards the point, and we're going to have then at this time player 4 and 5 setting the sandwich screen for player 2 to come out again towards this wing. Of course, if player 2 is open in this case, he should shoot that shot, very similar to my S baseline inbounds plays that I've posted on this channel once before. If again this is not open, we have very little recourse to then happen, but we would then have, in my opinion, player 3 cutting weak side towards the rim, and we may just get ourselves an open layup on that side. But we only have so much time, so if we're going to then run this baseline cut, or this middle cut, or whatever you want to call it. I've got allergies right now, I'm not thinking straight, but if you want to have this backdoor cut happen, guess what? You need to run these plays quick, super fast. Once, let's say, for example, player 3 gets that ball, and then we have player 1 who uses that staggered screen coming up top, and then he is able to receive that ball, but we have player 3 cutting across, he's not open, and let's say player 2 goes through that what I call sandwich screen and he pops out, but he's not open. We could then transfer into a 3-out 2-in offense quite easily. We could also set up player 5 to pop out towards the three-point line and player 4 to set a back screen on player 2 who will then cut towards the rim. We would want player 3 to do a low cut towards the baseline, because if player 3 gets that ball, player 2 gets that ball, and he goes in for the layup, that would be all set. But if player 3's man drops off and plays help defense, this could be a pass out for a three-point shot as well. So there's some contingencies, what I've just set out for if this play doesn't work. And if you're a basketball coach, you always want to have contingencies. You want your players to understand, hey, if plan A doesn't work, we have a plan B and C, and it's just super simple. Basically, if you're younger and you're learning how to code, there is a type of coding system called if this then that, which basically means if this happens, then that happens. If this doesn't happen, then that doesn't happen, and you can then continue through. It's a type of coding system, and I really like to basically instill that that in my players, because a lot of younger players these days are learning coding systems in school, and if you can get them to understand basketball plays very similarly to coding an app, for example, then if they are learning the coding system called if this then that, then they may actually understand plays much easier and faster than you may actually think they might. So I hope that this video is kind of giving you some insight on how to teach basketball plays, but also this basketball play specifically. Congratulations to Tyrone Watson, and making the ability to be a professional basketball player, had a scholarship down to the States, was one of the top GPA 4.0 average. He was a very good student. He was a very good player, and also he is now going to be an amazing basketball coach. Anyways, I hope to see you guys again in my next video. Have a great day.